Hello, I'm Michael Kornfeld, president of the Folk Music Society of Huntington. Established in the late 1960s, FMSH is a Long Island, New York-based nonprofit organization that generally presents 2 monthly concert series, a monthly folk jam, and a Huntington Folk Festival here at Heckscher Park. In partnership with our friends at the Cinema Arts Center, we are pleased to resume our monthly Hard Luck Cafe series and delighted that Claudia and Jordi, two fabulous Texas-based singer-songwriters, are here to join us by engaging in a song swap as we kick off our monthly live streams. Unlike our concerts at the Cinema Arts Center, admission for this one is free. However, tips for the artists who have seen most, if not all, of their gigs canceled and are unable to tour due to the ongoing health crisis would be most appreciated. Information about online tipping will appear on your screen. Enjoy the concert.
Hey, welcome. Here we are.
Welcome, everybody. Hi, Claudia.
Hi, Jordi. Hi, everyone out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so excited to see you. Thanks to the Huntington Folk Music Society and everyone who's helped. I'm so
Cinema
excited.
Arts, yeah, Cinema
Cinema
Arts
Arts Center, yeah. I mean, I wish we were there in Huntington, but I'm here in Wimberley, Texas, and you are here in...
I am here in Houston, Texas. So it's pretty amazing that we can do this.
It is. Well, I have the pleasure of introducing you, my friend Jordi Baizan, and we're going to talk a little more about you, and we got some fun stuff tonight. So I thank everyone for tuning in, and we got some fun up our sleeves. And take it away, Jordi. What's this first song you're going to do?
I'm going to do a song that is set in New York City, actually. And it's from my latest record, which was released in 2019, about 14 months ago. So this is called Could Have Been Us. Monday morning rush on the uptown line. Bodies press and sway. The train car rumbles and whines. Tired of staring at the phone, I looked up. I saw lipstick on the lid of a coffee cup. The cheekbone scar, the lotus tattoo were clues to solve the mystery of you. At Columbus Circle, you turned to get off. I couldn't help wondering if it could have been us. Could have been us. Later that year, in the neighborhood store, I saw you checking out, just one register over. I noticed the tomatoes, the nectarines, your skin, and that guy that you were with, who was more than just a friend. The way you looked into his eyes, was like morphine for pain. The brush of your fingers like a warm summer rain. The two of you fit like a hand in a glove. I couldn't help wondering if it could have been us. Could have been us. Grown-ups aren't supposed to be lost in childish reverie, but maybe daydreams teach us what we really need. We got a little snow. I took Jack out for a walk. I saw you standing on a front stoop, arms wrapped around a box. You lugged it down the stairs to the back of a van. Well, it was clear to me that Brooklyn was no longer in your plan. A voice came from the front seat. Okay, Jessica, let's drive. You smiled as you passed me on the passenger side. I mustered, have a good one. The engine started up. I couldn't help wondering if it could have been us. I can't help wondering if it could have been us. Could have been us. Thank you, Claudia.
I need my little Foley, speaker over here to get the effects. But I love that song. I love that song.
Thank
well,
you.
I think we're a good contrast because you have these beautifully, always optimistic songs, even when they're sad songs. They're always quietly optimistic, and mine are a little more serious and depressing. I don't know what to say.
I love your songs. I love your songs.
But, well, I just wanted to show you that people are clapping, and people are tuning in from Florida.
Hey, Linda.
And Mike from the Folk Music Society of Huntington is
Michael.
saying hi. And so, there's just
great.
tons of people saying hi to us, which is
I
so
love it.
cool. Yeah. So, anyway. Well, I'm going to do for my first song a song called End of Days, which is strangely enough a little too apt right now. So I had written this song, I had started this song a few years ago, and I just, I didn't quite know how to finish it until we had a really bad flood a few years back. So, and now with everything that's going on, I think it's pretty apt. It's called End of Days. Hurricanes, wildfires, seems like Mother Nature's running wild. Is this the end of days? Feels like the end of days. River floods, house is gone, left in mud just to carry on. Is it the end of days? It feels like the end of days. People said, brother, you need religion. Get down on your knees and seek a vision. When it's Judgment Day. Maybe this world is gonna wash away. Two by two was his plan, 40 days till they hit the land. Was it the end of days? It seemed like the end of days. Rainbow sky journeys end, send them out just to start again. Was it the end of days? It seemed like the end of days. Forget waiting, sister, for your deliverance. Just making a move could make a difference. No use worrying about the Judgment Day. All of your fears are gonna fade away. I can't wait one more minute. I got to live this life and all that's in it. Time keeps ticking to the Judgment Day. I don't want these years just to waste away. Are we lost, me and you? Where is love? Will we make it through? Is this our end of days? Or is this our end of days? Is it the end of days? No, not the end of days.
Yay!
Thank you.
That was so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
And sad, but sad in a way that makes me
Well, the
happy
first
somehow.
version was a rock and roll with a full band, because when I did my first album, my producer was Jordi, Band of Heathens, and that was like a more rocker tune, yeah. But lately it seems like, no, it just was more fitting as a slower one. So
Turned
yeah.
out beautifully. I love it. I love it. I don't think I've heard that that version on the record, but I love Jordi Quist.
Jordi is amazing. I am. Oh, let's see. I have something funny up here. Well, maybe we'll get into that. We got a bit of time. What is your next song you're gonna do?
Let's see. I think I'm going to do a song that is a new song that's unrecorded, and probably should have tuned in between. But
I could tell a joke. I won't go to it.
no problem. But yeah, so I wrote the song with our mutual friend Terry Klein. I didn't write it with Terry. I actually wrote it on my own. But we were traveling together in California back about a year ago, this time of year, and it was wildfire season, and there were fires burning all along the coast of California, from north of San Francisco, where we were, all the way down to LA. And the last day that we left, as our plane left LAX early in the morning, there was like a black smoke cloud going all the way over the city and into the ocean as we headed back to Texas. And I was really impacted by that whole experience, and did a little research on the biggest wildfires in California, and came on to the Camp Fire, which I thought was an ironic name. And the Camp Fire destroyed the town of Paradise, California, which I also thought was wonderfully ironic in a way, and wrote this song called Paradise. Paradise is a pretty little town, big fire coming to burn it down. Should've known better, didn't think twice. Now it looks like we're gonna lose paradise. Camp Creek Road, tiny little spark, orange glow in the morning dark. Ashes and embers fall from the sky. Sheriff says we gotta leave paradise. Traffic jam, abandoned cars, smoke's too thick, wind's too strong. Lord have mercy on everyone. Maybe the apocalypse has finally come. Flames tear through the mountainside, burned out houses, ruined lives. Cast iron black, cinder white, the last two colors left in paradise. Well, the world's getting warmer, but we won't stop. Flying our planes, driving our cars. Unemployment's down, stock market's up. Well, glory, hallelujah, we can buy more stuff. Well, paradise is our pretty little town. Big fire coming to burn it down. Should've known better, didn't think twice. Now it looks like we're gonna lose paradise. Yeah, we should've known better, didn't think twice. Now it looks like we're gonna lose paradise.
Yay! Oh, what a beautiful
Thank you,
song.
Claudia.
That song is really, really beautiful.
You know, we were at Folk
It really
Alliance
is.
International in New Orleans back in February. We were both there, and I played that song, I think maybe for the first time or something, in one of the little hotel rooms where we showcase our songs. And there was a guy that came up after me, and he was like, "That's such a sad song." And turns out he was a writer for American Songwriter, and he ended up mentioning that song in an article that he did about the thing. So you never know who's going to be
never
listening, you know. So
Well,
sad songs uplift people, you know.
They do, and people are commenting about that song, which is amazing. And this
That's
is
so
what
great.
you know I like about doing these shows that can pull in everyone from all over the country or all over the world. Really, is that
Yes.
you know it's we touch everyone, so it's great. So I am going to do a song. The song I'm going to do, when you're talking about California, it's one of my favorite places, and it kind of breaks my heart, especially Northern California, what's going on there, because I've been there off and on over the years. But this song that I'm going to do, that I wrote I don't know, a couple years ago, but maybe 3 years ago, I never recorded it yet, but I will. But I envisioned it that the person was starting in California. It's a road trip song.
Oh,
And
good.
Yeah. So
I'm excited
anyway,
to hear it.
you've heard this one before,
I
probably.
think so. Okay.
This one's called Unbound. Sunrise shining on my skin. I pull out on the interstate, signaling my change of fate. Unbound and ready to begin. 1,600 miles to go. It's just a couple days or so. There's time to contemplate my sins. I'm headed back from where I came, where everybody knows my name. Unbound, I'm starting out again. Unbound, love can't live on the dark side of town. It needs some hope to stick around. Unbound, and I can't live my life on the ground. We just held each other down. I'm passing kids who smile and wave. It's billboards, license plates, reminders of the state I'm in. At a truck stop in Ohio, a stray dog's running down the road. Unbound, he's looking for a friend. Unbound, love can't live on the dark side of town. The lights smashed out and the shades pulled down. Unbound, and maybe now your own life will turn around. 'Cause baby, we just held each other down. Coffee in a paper cup, I swirl around and drink it up. Tonight we'll see my journey's end. I pull out from this interstate, a different kind of road awaits. Unbound, I'm starting out again. Yeah, I'm unbound. I'm ready to begin.
Yes, so beautiful. Of course, I know that song. Yes.
Thank you.
It's so nice, like being here. Like it's like we're in a private
I
room
know.
together, and I really get to listen so carefully without any distractions to
Yeah,
your songs.
yeah, I was
and-
finding the same
Oh.
listening to yours, because even
Love
though like I have the distraction of if you see my hands running around, it's not because I'm just don't know what to do with them. I'm also the producer tonight, so I'm kind of going other places. But when you're playing, it's wonderful. I can listen. So it's time for a couple fun facts, I think. Okay, here's a fun fact. This is a fun fact about both of us. We were not only at Folk Alliance together, we were both last year at Kerrville New Folk. which and you goaded me into a photo with Richard Thompson. I have it up here.
I remember that very well.
I was so starstruck because Richard Thompson was headlining that night, and we were both there, and we had our little backstage things, and they told us don't misuse them, don't misuse them, and so I was like, okay, and I got a text from Hope Dunbar, a friend who was there, and she's like, I'm gonna go see Gretchen Peterson, backstage, and I'm gonna get a picture with her, and I'm like, I have to go see Richard Thompson, and so I was too shy, but you pushed me into it, and
Look at that.
he was so gracious. It was so awesome. Yeah, and I felt like, you remember my voice went up about three.
Yeah,
three
we were like
octaves.
little teenage kids, and you wanted the photo, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And then he's like, I remember he's very quiet, and he was reservedly sitting on a chair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know, we shouldn't bother him. And then I'm like, this moment's gonna pass. And
You said you have to go, and I'm like, he's tuning up before he goes on. You're like, go, and you actually pushed me physically, and I kind of went and my husband was there. It was really funny. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was funny, but Sir Richard couldn't have been more gracious, and he said, "Oh, of course." I'm like, "Could I get a photo?"
Of course, darling.
He was like, "Oh, of course, of course." So anyway, you've been not only at Kerrville, you've been Songwriter Serenade. We were there different years, I think, and the South Florida Folk Festival. So you've been making your way through the songwriting competitions, which is fun.
Yes, it was a couple of years of that where I entered all these competitions, and the best thing about it was meeting all the people in the audience, and meeting fellow songwriters that were competing
Right.
in the contest. But I've ended up doing shows with these people. I've ended up writing songs with these folks.
That's the
I
best
hung out
part.
with you
Yeah.
at Kerrville, and
Yeah.
we got to know each other better. So that's just so wonderful.
That is the best part. I'm not wild about the competition part because it brings me back to music school in a very uncomfortable way. But many years ago. But I love, getting to just hang out with people. So anyway, what's your next tune gonna be?
So I'm going to do a song, and I have a question. So
Sure.
this song is called Desert Line, but my record's called Free and Fine. Now the lyrics, there's a lyric in there that says Free and Fine. Is that the title track or not? Is Desert Line the title track of my record, Free and Fine?
I guess it should be. Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of is, right?
Yeah, it kind of
It's
is.
the
Sure.
title
That's
track,
where you
but
got
it's a weird one.
it inspired the title. So yeah,
Yes.
that's cool. Okay.
So this is a song called Desert Line, and the inspiration behind this song is that, and this relates to Claudia's last song, which is about getting on the road and getting away and becoming free. And this song is all about that. I fell in love with the desert back in 7th grade. Took a trip out there in a bus with all my 7th grade classmates, and went out to the desert in a place called Big Bend, which is on the very west, southern west end of Texas, on the border of Mexico. And I just fell in love with the starkness and the silence and the expanse of the desert, and went back a few times to the desert over my life and spent some time in New Mexico. And then most recently did a tour out there with a buddy of Claudia and mine named Terry Klein. And we were like meeting all kinds of folks that had left the big city and had gone to live kind of off the grid. So this song is about those folks, and it goes like this. Sick and tired in Houston, run down from the stress. Valerie and Brian decided to move west. They bought a beat-up Airstream trailer, a real fixer-upper. They pulled into Terlingua just in time for supper. Now they're free and fine on that desert line, but they'll be hard to find, 'cause nothing's bigger than Texas. An hour off the highway, 20 miles from town, like the yucca plant, they set their roots in the unforgiving ground. No neighbors to contend with, and no mosquitoes too. When it rains, I swear it smells just like God's perfume. Now they're free and fine on that desert line, but they'll be hard to find. Nothing's bigger than Texas. You'd see them at the general store, they'd greet you with a smile. Their overflowing shopping cart would last them for a while. Hey, hey. Well, the years passed by. Word got out to family and friends. One by one, more Airstream headed toward Big Bend to get back to the land where the cost of living's low, where it's peaceful and it's easy and the sunsets don't get old. Now they're free and fine on that desert line, but they'll be hard to find, 'cause nothing's bigger than Texas. Nothing's bigger than Texas. Thanks, Claudia. Thanks everybody for listening and for all your comments.
Yeah, there's some great comments, and I'm gonna show you a couple just because it's really fun. There's a whole group watching, and they're talking to each other and saying, and I have to great producing job. Thank you very much, Linda Romano. But this one is really sweet, and people are enjoying
thank you,
it.
Nancy.
And yeah, so it's cute because people are like, who else is out there? Who do I know in the audience? And so it's fun.
I love that.
Fun
I
to
love
watch
how
this.
music brings people together.
So yeah, it's great. So I'm gonna do another tune.
Of course.
And that one was reminding me, and I love that song. And I always thought that the title to that song was Free and Fine. So
Okay, good. So it's the title track after all.
I always thought it was. I was like, oh, it's the title track. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to do a song that was reminding me, that's a Texas song, and Louisiana is right next to Texas.
Yes.
And so I wrote this song. I was driving back from Nashville. It was a really long trip. Was it last summer? I don't remember. No, it was the summer before, I think. Yeah, it was the summer before, a couple years ago. It seems like a lifetime ago. But I was driving back, and I had this really strange experience because I just took this kind of spur of the moment kind of off-road experience. When you do that, you're just kind of like, I just want to go explore a little bit, because it was the middle of the day, and it's a really long ride from New Orleans to Wimberley. So I decided to to do this little adventurous trip back in time, and I ended up at this historic plantation that had these preserved, like 20 of them, slave cabins, hundreds of years old. And while this huge Louisiana thunderstorm was coming in, and it was just, I felt like there were so many stories there, but it was frustrating because I couldn't hear them, and I couldn't, and the little things that they had around about, the people, the slaves that had lived there, it didn't really tell me enough, and I just wanted to go back in time and talk to someone. But it was so the frustrated of these kind of muted, not being able to hear stories. And I ended up going home, and I had a song prompt to finish that night. And I ended up writing this song, which is called Louisiana Sky.
Oh, great.
60 miles from nowhere, city lights left behind, just me and the highway in a Louisiana sky. I heard the past come a-calling like a voice from up high, saying we all once lived here under Louisiana skies. Crossed a bridge over the bayou, sugar cane grows tall and wide, plantation cabins down an old gravel road. There's ghosts in the live oaks telling tales from old souls, blue beads in their pockets to keep off the evil eye. Couldn't lift them to freedom under Louisiana skies. And on their papers, first names only: Moses, Martha, and a child. Life stories left here in cypress and stone, once flesh and blood, now dust and bone. Clouds darkened and swirled down, lightning crackled and cried. Tears of history were streaming from the Louisiana sky. Cabins empty and dusty, voices still by the time. I said my prayers to the nameless in the Louisiana sky. Said you won't be forgotten under Louisiana skies. Nope, I can't hear Jordi for some reason.
Oh, I was just saying, oh my gosh, I've got goosebumps and, tears welling up in my eyes when I'm listening to you. That song is amazing.
Thank you so much.
I've seen so many nice comments about you. A couple of friends of mine, Jessica and Linda Romano, Jessica says, this is the first time I'm being introduced to your music, Claudia.
Oh.
I am one of your newest fans.
Oh, Jessica. Well, I'm one of your new fans now, too. That was really nice.
And Linda, her sister, said, Claudia is new to me, and I'm so happy to meet you. Your voice is beautiful.
Oh, that's really nice. That's really nice. And Keith is there. Hi, Keith. How are you?
Hey, Keith.
It's
Keith
really
helped put
nice.
this together.
So thank you all. That's so sweet. And oh, my friend Deb, thank you from up there in New York. I wish we were in New York right now, but we're not. So thank you so much. And Mark is ever the diplomat. He says, glad to hear you both.
Hey, Mark.
Well, I think it's time for some more fun facts. What do you think?
Okay. Well, I hope this is not too risque.
This is not risque, but if you said it in another language, maybe it would be. But your first language is Spanish. You learned English in kindergarten, French in elementary school, German in high school, and Italian in college. And you're not working for the United Nations.
No. But I am a spy. No, I'm kidding. but what's funny is I
Maybe
was on
you're
a
not.
roll. I was on a roll with languages for a while there.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's like the first half of your life, you learn all this stuff. And then the second half of your life, you learn to forget everything. So
Yeah.
I couldn't do German. Was so hard.
I learned French because my father was of French Canadian background, and his first language was French, and my grandmother and he and my aunt always spoke French when we went to visit up there, upstate New York. And so I heard it, and then I studied in high school and college and went to France, and that was fun. But yeah, now it's like
Tough. Yeah.
Well, that's your fun fact. We should have chosen some. Well, we might still have some fun facts. When you talk about your latest single, I'll have a fun fact to put up there. Okay. But
Okay, I was actually thinking about playing that, but we can do that now, or
you can do it now because it's your turn.
well, I was thinking that it was appropriate because of the subject matter, given Louisiana Sky's subject matter, and so this is a new song for me. This is my latest single, which was just released and is available on all digital platforms. Was the reason the story behind the story is that I haven't been entering song contests lately because I've decided, well, maybe that's a thing of the past for me. But this one was presented to me by my radio promoter company called Hudson Harding, and they let me know about this. And the idea was to write a song about the theme monuments. And I thought, wow, that's something that I should dig into because it's something that I've been thinking about, and we're having a national conversation about it. We're having a global conversation about the place of monuments, and specifically, especially certain monuments that are particularly controversial. So I thought, as I was trying to put together the song, that I would write it from the perspective of the monument itself, from the perspective of the statue itself, and to see what they would have to say about the subject. And so this song came out, and it's called Melt Me Down. And it goes like this, guys. They put me on this pedestal 160 years ago, grandiose in bronze, noble and esteemed. My glory's now corroded green, my story adds insult to injury. It's time for a change. Melt me down and bring me back as Lady Liberty. This world doesn't need me anymore. We're all a little scared, but there's something better for us out there. Melt me down, bring me back as Lady Liberty. $10,000 fill the square and street. 5 hours in the summer heat, walking side by side. Chants and signs and songs, there's power in their peaceful way. They've come to set the record straight. Let freedom ring, melt me down and bring me back as Lady Liberty. This world doesn't need me anymore. We're all a little scared, but there's something better for us out there. Melt me down and bring me back as Lady Liberty. Last night I had a dream, a little girl looking up at me. My torch held to the sky, and the broken chains and shackles laying at my feet. So melt me down and bring me back as Lady Liberty. This world doesn't need me anymore. We're all a little scared, but there's something better for us out there. Melt me down, bring me back as Lady Liberty. Melt me down and bring me back as Lady Liberty.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful
Thanks,
song. I think that's like one of your
Thank
best songs
you.
yet. Yeah. And that's streaming.
Yes, it's available on Spotify and iTunes, Apple Music, Deezer, Amazon, all those streaming places.
People
It's
will
just
like
not
that.
available physically. So
But so you have recorded
I
it.
have recorded it, and
And I'm going to put the little thing up here. And that won an award. You said that wasn't for a song contest, but it won an award anyway.
yeah. It was a small song contest put on by a guy named Ron Cook.
Cool.
And it was just something that I didn't expect to be writing a song about, and it was perfect. It was like a catalyst for me. So, yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure what to do next, and you played that song, and I have a song about that has the Statue of Liberty in it too.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because I started writing this. I think it was that same trip where I ended up writing Louisiana Sky. I'd gone out for music for gigs and to go to a songwriting workshop by Mary Gaucher in Nashville, and she handed us all the Emma Lazarus poem. Give us You're Tired and Poor.
Yes.
The Colossus, the new Colossus, and she said that's your prompt, and I was like, wow. So then I was thinking of the fact that my grandmother had come over. She was a young orphan with her sister, and had come over the water from Russia. Now it's Belarus, where she was from a little tiny village. Her father had died, and her stepmother sent her and her sister, because her mother had died a few years earlier, and she sent them to America to live with their relatives. And
Wow.
so can you imagine making that trip,
Amazing.
by yourself? So anyway, I came up with this song, and it's called Promised Land. And what's really funny is, because that's what all the Jewish immigrants and the immigrants from everywhere during that time, they really viewed America as the Promised Land. And I have a different song, Dreamers, that kind of looks at it from the point of view of, from more recent arrivals. But I think, it's what has always made this country so great. So anyway, I'm going to play this song, Promised Land. And I'm just going to remind people that if you're interested in tipping us, that's what that information is going across the bottom. It also has our websites if you like the music and you want to sign up for mailing lists and all that kind of stuff. So
Thank you, guys.
thank you. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you listening. It's wonderful. So anyway, this song's called Promised Land. And I'm sorry, but I have to move a wire that's getting caught on my guitar. It's just one of these things. Papa died the 19th of September. They sent us all 1 month to the day. Me and Lina in our tattered old brown suitcase. Papa's portrait tucked inside the safe. From Liverpool and steerage class, noses pressed to dirty glass, tossing on the ocean 10 long days. Oh, Lina, sister, take my hand. There's the lady with the torch. This could be the promised land. Oh, Lina, she's reaching out her hand, shining us from the shore. Welcome to the promised land. The promised land. Living with our cousins down on Broom Street. The old world life, it seems so far away. Now I'm 14 and working in a factory, sewing ribbons on for 50 cents a day. We light the candles Friday night, Saturday dawn's clear and bright, taking Lina on the streetcar to the bay. Ooh, Lina, sister, take my hand. There's the lady with the torch. We're living in the promised land. Oh, Lina, liberty she stands, shining at us from the shore. Welcome to the promised land. The promised land. Tired and poor, orphans at her door. Still her light ushers us in. And here we stay, live and work day by day. Lina, we are Americans. Oh, Lina, sister, take my hand. There's the lady with the torch. We're living in the promised land. Oh, Lina, liberty she stands, shining in our newfound home. Welcome to the promised land. The promised land. The promised land.
Yay, my friend. That's beautiful, inspiring. I love this country so much. I know there's a lot of division right now and a lot of hurt, and you know, my parents are immigrants, and so many people have come here because of the American ideals that, you know, we just need to keep striving to preserve the best that we can. And I think songs like
Absolutely.
that, and you know, speaking with your heart, and you know, being able to accept other people's opinions if they're not necessarily the same as our own. All that is part of, I think, the American ideal, let's say. So
Yeah, it always has been, and
Yeah.
so it's kind of sad to see that, you know, that's less right now because, you know, we grew up
we're being
with
divided
something
a
different.
lot.
Yeah, and just
Did-
the ability to say, okay, well, our opinions are different.
But we still
But-
are friends or whatever.
Right, and to see each other as people instead of just labels of, you know, illegal or, you know, or this or that or Democrat or Republican or liberal or conservative, because, you know, we both live in Texas and I have a lot of friends who have, you know, different opinions than me. I didn't move here because you know, I wanted everyone to think like me. So it's, you know, I think if we can just somehow remember to respect each other and bond over the things we love, like music. I'm going to peek up at the comments and see what people are saying, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Oh, this, yeah, and people are saying this was my sister, and she commented. My sister Jackie commented about my grandmother, my Nana. She was so proud of being American. She always voted, and you know, it was just she had went through a lot of struggle and hardship, but this was her country. So thank you for reminding us
That's
of
beautiful.
that. And Nancy reminds us all to vote, which is super important. So
Absolutely.
yep, because that's my Nana never missed voting.
Yeah.
So Jordi, I think I've run out of free. I'm sorry, I cut you off. You were about to say.
No, you were saying? So you've run out of free.
I've run out. No, I think I've run out of fun facts. So you might have to offer one. I have one about me, but I think
I want to hear one about Claudia. Does everybody want to hear a Claudia fun fact?
it's about jobs I've had.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
My sister will know this one. Yeah, I've had. These are some of my non-music jobs that I've had. Yeah.
Cool.
Those were all when the reporter was more recent, but the truck loader and the telephone operator and the Pepsi challenge giver were in the young starving artist phase. And I know my sister's watching because I was living with her at the time, and I had to be at UPS at 4 a.m. and it was winter in New York, and I would oversleep, and they would, because sometimes I had gigs that would end at like 2, and they would call, and she'd say, I don't know, she's on the way in her car. And I'd go into UPS, and for 4 or 5 hours, I would just load trucks. But it paid well, and I got really strong. So
I love that.
Anyway.
I love that. And the Pepsi challenge giver, that's just priceless.
that was
I
a
love
temp job in a supermarket. Yeah, that was bad. What about you? I'll let you talk about bad jobs you've had in your past. What's the most
bad jobs
interesting
that I've
one?
had. Well, I was, you know, I ended up working in my family business from a young age. But before that, I had a couple of like, you know, teenager jobs, you know, and I was just terrible. I was mowing the lawn. I got a lawn mowing job, and I would like not show up, and I would forget. And then I got a dog sitting job. My neighbors, the Danskers, they might be listening, so this is embarrassing. But, you know,
Sorry,
I forgot to take out the dogs one day, and they did their business all over the house. And I
Well,
had to
you're
clean
lucky
it
that
up.
was in the day of like Roomba vacuum cleaner. So
Oh my
you know,
gosh, and it was just
that
such a
would've been bad.
disaster. I think everything was okay, but you know, I never got asked back to do that job. So I think they figured it out.
I would've
think
fired
they
you,
found some
Jordi.
evidence. Yeah.
Well, what's up next? What's your song next?
Well, you know, kind of along the lines of America and what's great about America is this next song. You know, we've had the big hurricane that just hit in Alabama and poured like 30 inches of rain in that area, very similar to Hurricane Harvey that stopped right over the Texas Gulf Coast back in 2017, and actually impacted my family and so many others. There were 800,000 FEMA claims from that. So this song is about my personal experience with Hurricane Harvey, and it's hopefully has an uplifting message that makes us realize the greatness of America and of our communities. telling us for days that it was coming. The big one, the storm to end all storms. Rain comes down in windy sheets. Water's rising in the street. It's dry and warm inside, but that might not last long. It's gonna rain for days. Houston, there's no place to go. If it seems the world is falling all to pieces, and we're much too small to face the hurricane, we are not alone at all. We have neighbors, friends, family. There are heroes all around us. We're gonna be okay. Well, Bray's Bayou's up 10 feet in just 3 hours. Our friends in a 2-story house said we could come on over. The water's halfway up the yard. It's too late now to take the car. We pack 1 suitcase each and this guitar. Lock the doors behind us and leave our home of 20 years and wade 3 blocks to safety in the dark. Thank God we have someone to call. If it seems the world is falling all to pieces, and we're much too small to face the hurricane, we are not alone at all. We have neighbors, friends, family. There are heroes all around us. We're gonna be okay. Well, it's morning and it's clear, the bayou crested overnight. Our neighborhood is now a lake, there's no end in sight. Honey, come and check this out. 2 young men paddling a canoe, rescuing an older man, his dog, and wheelchair too. And soon more help would follow. The kayaks and the power boats. A people's army mobilized. That's what heroes do. It's in their blood. It's in your blood. Because you're heroes too. If it seems the world is falling all to pieces, and you're much too small to face the hurricane, you are not alone at all. You have neighbors, friends, family. There are heroes all around us. You're gonna be okay. There are heroes all around us. We're gonna be okay. Thank you, Claudia. Thanks, you guys.
Oh, what an experience. I was just listening to the radio and what everyone's going through down in Alabama and, the panhandle of Florida and, Georgia and moving up. And yeah, I remember, Harvey, that was quite an experience and you lived through it.
It brings back a lot of...
That's not a fun fact.
Yeah, it brings back a lot of sad memories,
Yeah. It's
But a lot of people pulled together and made the best of a tough situation and showed what humans are really capable of. You know, the kind of kindness and the kind of courage that humans are capable of. So
yeah, and it's true. I lived in New York. You know, when 9/11 happened, and the same thing. People really pulled together. I have to show you this comment from before because I think you'll like it. And Jessica's liking our fun facts, but her sister said to tell you that dogs get even when you forget them. So yeah, that's what happens.
that's right.
That's true. And in that vein, we have been here like over an hour so far, and we just have about 25 minutes left. So
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to stop
Time
babbling.
flies.
I know. And in that vein of bad things happening and forgetting about dogs and storms, I'm going to play a song called Trouble. And I don't have a fun fact for this one, but I'll have you think of one next, Jordi. I'm going to ask you to think of the worst gig, the strangest gig you ever had. So while I'm playing, you can you can entertain us with that. Okay.
Okay. You got
Okay.
it.
Cool. The song's called Trouble. I went to church on Sunday to put my sins behind me. When I woke up on Monday, the devil still did find me. I seen trouble, trouble all my days. Seen trouble, trouble all my days. Tuesday brought me true love. He swore there was no other. We married on a Wednesday, but he was a faithless lover. I've seen trouble, trouble all my days. Seen trouble, trouble all my days. I've seen trouble, trouble all my days. Seen trouble all my days. Thursday night I hit the town. The whiskey was flowing. Friday I was busted flat. No one seems to know me. Woo-hoo, Saturday brought hell to pay. A hole too dark to mention. By Sunday I was on my knees. I was begging for redemption. I seen trouble, trouble all my days. Seen trouble, trouble all my days. I seen trouble, trouble all my days. Seen trouble, trouble all my days. You still there? Your mic's off. There you go.
I was unmuting myself. Bravo.
Oh.
What's the background on that song?
I don't know. It was just I wanted to write a song that had I had the idea of those old blues songs, that I Seen Trouble, and it was the first song I wrote when I started writing again after not writing for many years. I had pursued music a lot when I was young, and then I kind of stopped when I was 30 and had kids and didn't do a lot. And then when I seriously got back into writing, I wrote that one, and I kind of took it as a challenge to do like the days of the week. And I liked the little riff that I hit.
I love that.
So I just wrote. So have you fun fact?
Okay. So
what is your worst job that you've ever had?
The worst job? Well, I thought you were asked about the worst gig, so I wanted to tell you about a gig.
Oh, the worst gig. That's what I meant.
A gig that I played in Chicago at a great venue. I'm not going to mention the venue. It's still a great venue, but the thing that happened is that the website said that our show was sold out when it wasn't.
Oh no.
So it was a 3-way songwriters in the round show with 2 wonderful friends of mine, and I was so excited to play the show at this great venue, and there were 2 people in the audience. There were 3 of us on stage and 2 people in the audience. And there were actually there were 3 people. There were one friend of these folks, and then one friend of mine who brought a friend.
Well, maybe it was a very small room, so it was a sellout.
It was a small room, but it looked very big.
I bet.
But we had a great time. We had a great gig. We just had a wonderful time. We had a free meal, and the poor club lost money on us, but
oh well,
that error, whatever. Things happen, right? So you gotta always, as a performer, that you always have to expect the unexpected to happen.
This is true. Good and bad.
But so far, this show has gone very smoothly.
Well, don't say that, because like the picture could fall off the wall behind you, or your dog could come in and go on the rug or something. Anyway, tell us what you're gonna play next. So
I'm gonna play a new one. This has been a very creative period for me, for whatever reason. This next song is inspired by a conversation that I had a few months before this all started with a kind of a work friend who had sold his business and had done very well, and then kind of disappeared from the business world for a few years, and then decided to come back into the business world. And we were having the conversation, and he was talking about retirement, and he says, Jordi's retirement's not all it's cracked up to be. Money goes cold. And I love that line. So I wrote this song. It's a completely imagined story based on that line, money goes cold. There's a mansion on the Park Road Loop. It's like a red brick wedding cake, with lawns that flow like regal robes down to the boathouse by the lake. Bundled up in a wicker chair, Johnny contemplates the scene he cashed out 2 long years ago on a flawed and empty dream. Phone stops buzzing, golf gets old, days drag long, money goes cold. He remembers that used walnut desk, the framed picture of the kids. There was no one that could stop him from the aim to make it big. Now he's rusting through the floorboards, the contract ink long dry. He's off of the adrenaline, and the moths are eating him alive. Phone stops buzzing, highs get low, days drag long, money goes cold. With eyes closed, he sees glimpses of the friends he had to cut, and the tears his red-faced Mary cried the day that she drove off. Nick and Sarah still side with their mom. Their offenses you can't mend. So it's Christmas in an empty house. Is this how the story ends? Phone stops buzzing, heartbeat slows, days drag long. Money goes cold.
Yay, Jordi. Awesome.
Thanks,
I
Claudia.
like that. I was tuning up, so I turned my
Speaking of
little
Claudia,
down.
Claudia Monsalves Clark says, "Hi, Jordi Baizan. Friends who bring friends, always a good thing." Yes, Claudia, thank you.
Aw, I always love someone named Claudia.
Yes, I love
I don't
that
meet too many
name.
Claudias. Whenever I meet one, we say, "Oh, yeah, there's not too many of us." And Daria said a really nice thing too, which
Thank
is
you,
lovely.
Daria.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you all for watching us. We have I've got a song, and then we each have a song if we go quick, I think.
Okay,
Keep our songs, no American Pie type songs.
let's do it.
I'm going to jump right into this one, Jordi.
Okay, look
so-
forward to hearing it.
Yeah, well, this is a song that I wrote about 2 years ago, and I wrote it and I'm going to turn up my monitor because it's kind of a quiet song, to enter it in a song contest. It was the first kind of social conscience song I wrote, and I wrote it and sent it in to the Woody Guthrie song contest and kind of forgot about it because I sent it in right at the deadline. And then they sent me an email a couple months later, said you won. And I was like, wow, which was cool. I got to go out to Oklahoma and play it, and which was really meaningful because some of the first songs I ever learned were Woody Guthrie's, and anyway, and the subject is meaningful to me because I know some of these people. This is called Dreamers. She has walked through desert sands, huddled down inside a truck, clutching at her mama's hands, both praying for a little luck. Crawling underneath barbed wire, he was barely 3 years old. Daddy carried him for miles, not a peep, just like he was told. Dreamers, they have lived here all their lifetime, in this land they call home. All of their school days and every friend's face are from this place, the only life they've known. Growing up between two worlds, homework, friends, and football games, knowing just one traffic stop could leave her life forever changed. Go to college, find a job, serve your country, make your way. Choices that he cannot make when it's a fight just to remain. Dreamers, they have lived here all their lifetime. This country is their home, all of their school days, and every friend's face are from this place. The only life they've known, foreign to the land where they were born. Could it be the dreams they share are big enough for us all? For us all. Dreamers, they have lived here all their lifetime. This country is their home, all of their school days, and every friend's face are from this place. The only life they've known.
Thank you, Claudia, for that song. That's such empathy in that song. I love it.
Thanks.
I love
Well,
it.
you got, I think we could each squeeze in one more if we're pretty quick about it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, I'm going to do one that helped to bring us together at the Kerrville Folk Festival. This is one of my entries for that song contest, and it gave me the opportunity to hang out with you a little bit
There
more.
you are at the Kerrville Folk
Yeah,
Festival.
that's exactly at the end of my set at the
great
Kerrville Folk
shot.
Festival when I played this song. And so it's a song I wrote with Jackson Emmer,
Love Jackson.
mutual friend, and it was written at an apartment complex where we hung out for about 7 months. My wife and I, we lived there for 7 months. The last 7 months of our 9 months from being away from the house where we raised our kids. And this apartment was a place that my wife especially did not feel rooted there. And I noticed that she didn't hang any pictures on the wall of the apartment, and told Jackson about this idea, and we wrote this song together down by the pool at this apartment complex. And it's a sing-along, so if you know it and you want to sing along in your living room or in your car if you're listening, please do. Maybe we'll hear you. This is Pictures on the Wall. Moving in, planting roots, boxes on the bed, packing peanuts, rolls of tape, here we go again. Seems like yesterday, we've done this before. We're stones that keep on rolling, life just keeps unfolding, every turn just leaves us wanting more. When do you hang pictures on the wall? When does a house become a home? In between the living and the final curtain call, when do you hang pictures on the wall? Taking steps, no regrets, breaking in the bed, room for friends and barbecues, cold beer in the fridge, hoping that we'll find sunny days ahead. I know I've been drinking, but I just get the feeling we might have a permanent address. When do you hang pictures on the wall? When does a house become a home? In between the living and the final curtain call, when do you hang pictures on the wall? We can wait until it's right, but there ain't no perfect time. Let's take a chance and settle down. It's our place, it's our town, nevermore to roam. When do you hang pictures on the wall? When does a house become a home? In between the living and the final curtain call, when do you hang pictures on the wall? In between the living and the final curtain call, when do you hang pictures on the wall?
All right, I was singing along. Doing
Oh,
harmonies.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
One day we'll be able to do that on
And-
this platform.
And I got to give a shout out to my husband because he said you have a picture on the wall.
Yes.
My husband Harlan Gibson's watching, but I have to credit him because he hung those pictures that have been sitting on top of my piano for a long time, and he put them up. And
That means you guys are
thank you.
home. That means you guys are home.
We are, and you would think that while you were talking, I would have tuned back up. This is the last
Well,
song.
You were singing along, which is great.
Yeah. So, but hopefully it won't snap in my face or anything bad like that, or we'll just do a different guitar and a different song. But I will introduce this song. But before I do, I just really want to say thank you to Michael Kornfeld and the Folk Music Society of Huntington for having us on the
Cinema Arts Center. Yeah.
Yes, and all of you guys who have been, the emails have kind of been flying back and forth. Thank you for letting us do this and having enough faith that we could pull off a live stream. And really, I hope that when this is over, we can actually come out to Huntington and play for you people in person. And it really is gratifying that when I look and see people up there that people have been hanging out and listening for the whole show. So thank all of you, and thank you to those of you who sent a little love via tip money our way. And I hope that if it's the first time you've heard Jordi, if you're friends, followers of mine, please go to his website and sign up. And if you like my stuff, do the same. So I'm going to close with a song that kind of ends up in New York. It's called Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio. It's 10 a.m. Thursday. Checked out of my motel and I went for a walk. The lakefront is quiet except for men fishing. They stand on the dockside, cast their lines out and talk. And how am I living without you? And how can I be in this world on my own? Did you really think I would doubt you? Did you really leave to some coffee at the Quick Mart and found the talk radio. The callers are angry, they say they're forgotten. Though my reasons are different, it's a feeling I know. And how can I make it without you? And how can I live in this world on my own? Did you really think I would doubt you? Did you really? Did you really leave me alone? Route 80 PA seems to stretch on for days. I count off the small towns and miles. Water Gap into Jersey and the suburban haze. But the New York City sky, that's a sight for sore eyes. Hoboken, New Jersey. It's 6 p.m. Thursday. Park the car by the ferry, and I boarded that boat. Halfway across the Hudson, pulled a box from my backpack. I shook out your ashes, watched you blow off and float. And how am I living without you? And why am I here in this world on my own? No choice but to go on without you. But how could you leave? How could you leave? How could you leave me alone?
Oh, Claudia.
Oh, Jordi.
That's so
Thank you
beautiful.
so much. Well, thank you everyone for listening and for please.
Can I say something? I'd like to thank you for producing this amazing show. You made it look so easy. You were playing songs and producing the show
That's
all
my
at
arm.
once. So thank you for
It's all over the place. I just need.
thank you, because it is a lot of
Oh,
work.
well.
And your care was phenomenal
Oh.
in putting this together. I'm honored to be a part of it. And thanks to everyone out there in the audience for your attentive presence today. And that's what this type of music is all about. It's about each of us listening to each other, and hopefully that's something that we can keep moving in the right direction. Thanks to the Folk Music Society of Huntington for creating this beautiful community that provides a stage for singer-songwriters and provides singer-songwriters to a listening audience. So I just wanted to say thanks for all that.
Yes, and thanks to everyone, and thank you, Michael, most of all, because for having us, and it was lovely. And thank you, Jordi. I love your songs, and everyone should just go and get all your albums. And
I feel like we've been hanging out in the same room. I love this.
it's great. Well, I guess that's about it for tonight. So we appreciate everyone who tipped and listened, and thanks so much. And hang out in the studio, Jordi, afterwards, and we'll say so long right now to everyone and end our broadcast. Bye.
Take care of
Thanks
yourselves,
again.
everyone.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
everyone take care.